Hi, welcome to Thursday Thrive Live, and we are going to talk about happiness. My name is Sablin, and this is Relative Growth. We're all about providing you journals and printables to help you create your own personal happiness formula, because your mind, your body, your soul, everything kind of comes together to allow you to live a happier and fuller life. And that's what we like to talk about, is how to be a happier person so we can give back to the world. If this is something that interests you, please take a moment to like, subscribe, share. It would really be helpful. I appreciate it. Today, we are going to talk about how to create a soothing bedtime routine. And you're probably asking yourself, how does sleep correlate with my happiness? Because with how busy we are and how we're trying to do so much stuff in our life, me definitely would kind of forego sleep to be able to work more, spend time with my kids and my family more, to spend time on the hobbies, whatever it was. And the more I started really diving into the happiness research and learning things to help with anxiety and to be the most effective and efficient self, sleep kept coming up over and over again. So the question I want to ask you today is, do you suffer from sleep deprivation? Do you know if you suffer from sleep deprivation? And here are some signs that you might be. You're moody. You wake up groggy in the morning. You have a hard time falling asleep. You have a hard time staying asleep. You might find that it takes a little bit longer to do things that it didn't used to in the beginning. Those are all signs of sleep deprivation. And what I wanted to talk to you about is why it's so important to get enough sleep and how to do it, because it is possible. So today I wanted to share a book with you. It is Elevate Your Game, Avoid Burnout, and Thrive with the New Science of Success, Peak Performance. And it's by Brad Stulberg and Steve Magnus. I linked it below. This is an amazing book. I listened to it years ago on Audible, and I have recommended it to many. I've recommended to parents who are having teenagers having trouble with sleep and performance. I have recommended it to CEO friends, and I have definitely pulled from it time and time again. There are formulas on how to avoid burnout and how to be the most productive version of you is amazing, and I can talk about each section of this book. And I think I have in past videos. So if you haven't read it, check it out. The link is below. As well as take a moment, there is a link below for the free printable on how you can track your sleep as well. So what I wanted to share today, this is from page 107 from, I always like to know the chapters, so I want to share it with you. Chapter 5. Chapter 5, page 107, Sleep and Our Growing Body. Over the past years, Brad has had the privilege of interviewing more than 40 world-class athletes from a series in Outside Magazine on the habits of great performance. These individuals include some of the world's best runners, skiers, cyclists, surfers, kayakers, and climbers. To Brad's surprise, he found a fair amount of variability in their daily habits. Some do yoga rigorously, others have never stretched before, some are gluten-free, others make red meat their centerpiece of their diet. Some take ice baths, others favor heat. One topic where there is a complete conformity, however, is sleep. The best athletes in the world all prioritize sleep just as much as they prioritize their hardest training sessions and their most important competition. So here's what I kind of got out of that paragraph. One, we're all I'm just tongue-tied today, people. We're all uniquely beautiful and wonderful. Meaning what works for me may not work for you, and that's okay. And that's why it's not about finding out Sablin's happiness project or Sablin's happiness formula. It's finding out your own personal happiness formula. And I wanted to provide you on this station with lots of tools and tips and tricks, because just like this book said, If I was a vegan and that gave me tons of energy, I'm not a vegan, but if I was, I can't sit here and preach saying that's the only way to go, because it may not work for you, and that's okay. And I love that paragraph in the book because it really does kind of give credit to, if your mentor says you should be doing it this way at this time with this program, and you're finding that it doesn't work for you, that's okay. It's okay for it to work for him and not for you. So I love that. I also love that they talk about how sleep is so important in these really elite athletes. And the reason why I like that they dive into that is because elite athletes, it's literally their job to make sure that their body and their minds are excelling at the best version of themselves. Well, mamas, you're running around chasing after kids. You need to be your best version of yourself. And if you're running a company and you're managing a team, you need to be the best version of yourself. And if you are out there and you're pursuing your passion, you need to be the best version of yourself. And so why not taking tips and tricks from elite athletes to see how they feel their bodies, how they stay strong and mentally sharp? Sleep is a huge indicator of that. And like everything else that we preach, you have to listen to your body. And in the article that I created that's linked below, it's going to kind of give the benefits of sleep and how you can tell if you're sleep deprived. Because once again, we're all uniquely beautiful. Some of us can actually thrive off of 5 to 6 hours of sleep. It's only about a 2 to 3% of us, but that you are out there. And if that's you and you are doing just great, good for you. The rest of us are grossly sleep deprived. Grossly sleep deprived. I think that's, correct me. Give me the comments below. Anyway, I want to talk to you about how. In the article that's linked below, it's going to give you tons of tips and tricks. But here are a few key things, a few key things that I found in my research that I thought was really interesting. Getting ready for sleep starts hours before you go to bed. And let me explain what I mean about that. Coffee, like anyone on their second, third, maybe fourth cup of coffee of today? Studies have shown that drinking too much caffeine before bed can help how deeply you fall into sleep. So limiting the caffeine to no later, drinking your last cup by 3 p.m. And if you're go to bed earlier, maybe that's a little bit earlier. You're really going to have to test your body out. Limiting alcohol and nicotine. And a lot of people say that glass of wine helps me fall asleep, but it may not actually keep you asleep. So start kind of looking at those things. It's limiting the amount of nap that you have. So that takes you earlier on in the day. And then it goes to 2 hours before bedtime. And it's talking about putting away the electronics, starting to calm down, not doing any physical activity, such as heavy exercising a couple hours before bed. Finding what works for you is really important. And this is where it goes into finding a bedtime routine. Now, raise your hands if you had to sleep train a baby recently, or maybe you remember sleep training your baby. A lot of what they talk about are setting up a consistent routine to do every single night, because it allows your baby to start to calm down, understand what's going to happen next. Well, your body and your brain, it's the exact same thing. So creating a bedtime routine that is consistent and easy enough to do every single night will help you calm down and get your body, trick your body into saying, it's bedtime. Let's do this. And there's a couple different things that you can do to find the different bedtime routine that works for you. For me, I really like reading. I like taking a shower. I have my own essential bath oils that I use before I go to bed. So the smell triggers it, the hot water triggers it. And then I sit in my chair, not in my bed, and I actually read for 10, 15 minutes. And that triggers me to be able to fall asleep. If you still find yourself, even with the routine, having a trouble falling asleep, melatonin and even magnesium supplements can really help give you that extra aid to be able to fall asleep. So what about you? What's your bedtime routine? I would love to hear it in the comments below, because that's where it's all at. It's seeing what other people are doing to be able to get ideas, because there are so many different routines out there. I can't list them all in a blog article. So share your comment below what your bedtime routine is, and I will see you back here every Thursday for a Thrive Live. Bye.